Hi, scientists. So last week in science, we finished up learning about chemical reactions, and that actually wrapped up our unit called Mixtures and Solutions. So we are all done learning about mixtures and solutions. What that means is we're going to move on to our last kit, which is called Living Systems. So for this week, I'm going to read you our first section in our new book, and then I will have a quick and fun assignment that goes with it in our Google Classroom. So let's take a look at what our new book looks like. Here it is. It's called Living Systems. And the first section is called An Introduction to Systems. So before we can dive in and learn about living systems, it's important that we understand what the word system means. So we're going to get a quick introduction. I'm going to read this section. It's only 2 pages, and then I will explain our assignment. So it says, Introduction to Systems. Have you heard of the solar system? We've learned about the solar system at the beginning of the year. You probably know that it's the sun, Earth, Moon, Mars, Venus, and all the other planets and their moons. But why is it called a solar system? Solar refers to the sun, but what is a system? A system is a collection of interacting parts. The parts work together to create a structure or produce an action. In the solar system, the parts include the sun and the planets and their moons. The interactions are the motions of the objects and the force of gravity that holds them together. Gravity and the collection of objects work together as a system. So the solar system is an example of a system, different parts that work together to do something. But that's a really complicated example. Next, they're going to give us a simple example that's easier to think about. So down here it says a pair of scissors is also a system. It has 2 levers with sharp edges. Your hand applies force at the ends of the 2 levers. The cutting edges apply force to the material between the blades. This system cuts through the material. So the solar system is huge and complex. It's a big example of a system. And a pair of scissors is small and simple, but it's also an example of a system. Both systems are collections of interacting parts. So in order to call something a system, it needs to be something that has different parts that work together to do something. All right, this is the last page. So right here it says, a bridge is also a system of interacting parts. The parts include steel girders, steel cables, bolts, and concrete supports. The bridge system is a structure that is solid and stable. Bridges don't move much, but they support the weight of the traffic traveling across them. If you look closely, you can find systems everywhere. Some systems are industrial, like a wastewater treatment plant. Some systems are social, like a hospital or school. Some systems are technological, like the cellular telephone system and the internet. Some systems are natural, like the migration of monarch butterflies and the cycle of the tides. Some systems are cultural, like baseball. What systems can you think of? So I can see there's a quick video here. It says, a tower is part of a cell phone system. So let's see. So here's the satellite, and you can see all the different parts that are working together. Without any of these parts, it wouldn't work as a whole. All right, so down here it says, thinking about systems. Here is a list of 8 systems. Can you think of 3 or 4 parts of each system? So this is going to be your assignment in Google Classroom, our science Google Classroom. I'm going to give you these examples, and you're going to tell me what parts make up that object that work together for it to be called a system. Now, I'm going to give you an example of one in Google Classroom, and then I want you to try your best to think of all the parts that work together to make each thing a system. And then I'm going to give you a bonus if you can think of something on your own that's not one of these 8 that is also a system. All right. I hope this is a good introduction to our next unit, living systems. Once we get into it, we're going to talk about living things and different systems within living things. So it's going to get exciting and fun. I'll see you guys next time.